Well, from politics to alcohol now, but I think the two are inextricably linked. Heineken, the big beer brand, has been making waves in the advertising world ever since it released the walk-in fridge commercial. And now there is a new offering. It's an ad called The Entrance. It was created by the ad agency Wyden and Kennedy in Amsterdam. And it's racked up something like 3 million online views due to a clever campaign with additional content on Facebook. We're giving a liking to the Entrance tab on the page unlocks additional footage of the video's minor characters. So, let's go behind the scenes.
Hi, I am Eric, and I'm gonna have to try all these flows today. So the party starts really well. There is all these actors coming from everywhere, India and Japan, Africa, and I will have to say hello to them in different ways. And then move in this room, see an old friend. Cut. Great. Perfect.
Dressed to the nines with hair to match, shiny jewels, casino cash, tapping feet, wanna take the lead, and drip back down.
This is the man that makes that whole thing happen.
I'm half the man who makes it all happen. You are the man.
Ah,
yes.
Yeah, I like to hear that. That feels good. Say it. Yeah. When we reach this place, we finally have some action. There is a girl with a little thing here, and this is not a good party, you know, because she's beautiful and she should be immaculate. I will push my good friend and correct that mistake, jump to her, and clean that little thing she has here. We won't say what it is, by the way. Saying hello to my little friend, and then there is that ball that is gonna hit me in the stomach. And I'm gonna walk in there, saying hi to the basketters. They're really tall, I have to jump and hit that thing. If I don't make it, I guess they will have some CGA, but I'll make it, right? And then here there is that man that is from a small height, and he's gonna give me an egg from Fabergé, and in exchange of the egg, I'm gonna give a bird.
Oh no!
And then I feel something's happening. And there is that guy coming from over there. He's like a martial art expert. He's amazing. He's doing all those stunts, coming here, and he wants to kick my ass. So I'm gonna make a roll, and then I'm gonna make some intimidation, you know? And when we get to here, and here comes the Heineken, and I grab it, I'm faster than
What
him.
martial arts about is bringing everything compressed within a small area for power, which is what we were working on yesterday, was to bring him down.
He has to be very fast moves, because it's like karate, you know? And at the end, I'm just faster than him. So I give him like the battle, take off my jacket, and that flute comes. Excuse me? This charming lady playing with her band, but she's gonna introduce herself.
My name is Mette from the Asteroids Galaxy Tour, and we have our song The Golden Age in this commercial.
Sing it out loud, gon' get back money. Sing it out loud, get away.
Okay, bottle coming in.
Sing it out loud.
We were like, okay, now we can drink a beer because now we're not working anymore. And one of the guys from the band, he went out to find some beers.
Yeah, they're all done. It takes really, I guess, probably half an hour each bottle.
And he got back with 3 strange-looking Heineken beers. It looks really cold and delicious.
And I had some prepared bottles here that I've been working on all the afternoon, all the evening, and they came in and opened them and started to drink them, and I was a bit upset.
4, 5, 6, 7.
He grabs the beer and we go into him. Yeah. Okay, I'm checking.
coming very quickly. Thank you for watching. And she's the star.
He's the star.
So that's how it was all put together. The full ad, by the way, is on our Facebook page on this address, and you can tell us what you think. Let's end the programme with valuable lessons on brand management. In what promises to be a brutal economic year, it's imperative that brands listen, are given a face and a voice, and also understand the power and the growing influence of social media. All of this emerged in a recent conversation with Daniella Louw from the multimedia agency Red Ink. All right, Daniella Louw, a very warm welcome and thank you for joining us. Lessons that brand managers should take away from 2011. First of all, 2011 has been an incredibly tough year. You make the point, don't ignore the listening period. What's the listening period?
The listening period is probably the most important period there is when one is about to start a social media campaign. It's about monitoring what is currently being said about your brand and about the keywords and about your industry, and most importantly about your competitors. Understanding what is being said, what should be said, what is it that consumers want you to say. I often say to people they jump in too fast into social media. Instead of asking us to just jump into the deep end and meet your brand objectives, we need to understand what is it that is the problem. Is it just a general brand awareness issue, or should we be looking at customer service? We'll soon find out. If there is a negative sentiment, which is what we call it out there, then that helps us to work on a strategy which turns that around and to publicly face those issues and to be seen to not be hiding, be transparent, be open, frank, and look at those issues and spin them in the public eye.
Does every brand need a social media strategy?
Yes. Absolutely.
As emphatic as that.
Absolutely.
Explain
Look,
to me why.
There would be a different angle on each brand, but that's part of what the listening period is about, is understanding what is it that this brand requires. I've never sold one proposal which is the same to another. Whether we're looking at a brand or what we've recently been doing is individuals as well. So looking after the online reputations of celebrities and that sort of thing. You need to look at it as in its entirety. What is it that this person or this brand needs to achieve? And what else are they doing? That's the other important lesson. Are they doing other things on email marketing, print campaigns, that sort of thing? Social media should certainly be the glue
all of you
that
guys
ties all
spin
of
a
that
good
together.
story. All of you guys spin
We
a
do,
good
because
story.
we're good at what we do.
Of course you are, but I still don't understand why a deodorant or, or a washing powder needs to be playing actively in this space.
Because when you're walking down the aisle and there's 100 deodorants, which one do you go for? You go for the one that you have a warm and fuzzy feeling about. How do you create a warm and fuzzy feeling? You've just seen a social media campaign sponsored by that deodorant. You've felt that you could talk to that deodorant. You've told them that you've given them personal experiences and they've appreciated it. It sets you apart from the others on the rack.
In fact, you make the point you've got to humanize yourself on the social web.
Absolutely.
Is that what you're talking about?
That's what social media is about. It's about humanizing a brand, putting a face to it, personifying it. It's another very important part of what we take out of the data which we pull from that listening period is what kind of personality or persona are we going to build for this brand? Should we be very corporate? Should we have a bit of a sense of humor? Should we be playing around with words and that sort of thing? And that all forms part of people talking to a person.
But anybody who's talking successfully has an opinion. So
Yes.
does a brand have to have a point of view?
A brand should, whether it has a point of view or not, depends on which brand it is. But even if it doesn't have a point of view, it should be a platform where your consumers can have a point of view. The thing about actively doing social media, and I say doing social media because people always say, I do social media. The thing about actively doing it and doing it properly is about understanding that the brand has a personality, talking to it on that level, and understanding that your consumers want to understand who you are. And you get through your advertising, it's never a hard sell. So your ad message should be subtly sent to them, to your consumers via all kinds of indicators, which is what we use.
Apart from the point of view, apart from the conversation, you've got to give me something. You've got to give me an experience, haven't you?
You've got to get an experience, exactly, and that's what the personality comes in. You've got to walk away feeling warm and fuzzy about your deodorant product, which is the example you used. And the experience it ranges again from brand to brand, but we try and do very creative campaigns which are remembered and which are something which grabs attention. And from there, we try and obviously there is an objective, whether it be brand awareness, customer service, whatever it is. That campaign is nicely figured out to meet those objectives.
One final question, and because time is against us.
Yes.
Is the community as big as you and the brands think it is, or are you simply preaching to a few brand groupies?
No, the community is big. It's obviously not as big as you know what your billboard would get you. What I always tell people is that the issue about who is on social media is it's the people who matter. And I mean that in a loose sense of a word. It's the influencers. Twitter, for example, has quite a low rate in South Africa. It's not low, but it's a couple of million people that use Twitter.
But they have big voices.
But they have big voices, and they're the people, they're the decision makers. So if you're talking to them and you're tagging them and you're actively seeking out their participation in your campaign, then you're going a long way. It's rather talk to one of them than talk to 100,000 people who are kind of randomly passing your billboard.
The views there of Daniella Louw from the multimedia agency Red Ink. And that ends our programme for this week. Comments and views on our Facebook page, and we're active on Twitter as well. Thank you for watching, and you have yourself a good week.